I'm not really one to open emails from senders I don't trust, but let me tell you the story of how I got scammed by an 87-year-old physiotherapist who claimed that he's taken the crapzoids out of me, friends. So you all know I have hand pain, and my cousin recommended me this apparently superstar physio guy that everybody goes to as a last resort sort of thing. He tells me he's resolved his own hand pain, so I'm like, without really asking any questions, took his number and set up an appointment. And I get to this dude's house and I ring the doorbell, and this 14-year-old daughter opens the door, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm kind of surprised, but what the hell, right? I'm here to get treatment. So I ask her, yo, is this the right place? And she goes, yeah. Just hang around and he'll come out in a bit. And I'm like, cool. Suddenly, the guy shows up from behind me in kind of like a Buddha-esque clothing situation. He gets close to me and he goes, I'm 87. And in my mind, I'm like, bro, what? Who asked you how old you were? But my mouth goes, oh, wow. You don't look 87. He certainly does look 87, just an 87 that surprisingly can move around without a cane. So he goes, I see you met my daughter. And I go, yeah, I met your daughter. And he goes, wait till you meet my son. And oh man, stick around for a second because more on that later. He's 9 years old. Pause the video and do the math. Anyway, previous patient comes out the treatment room looking pretty happy. And he goes, let me introduce you to Anna. I'm like, who's Anna? But in my mind, I'm like, why are you introducing me to your patients, you creepy old man? He doesn't tell me who Anna is. He just looks at her and says, Anna, you feel good now, but your pain might come back. So let's set up another session for next week. Then he just looks at me like, okay, what shall we do? And I'm like, I don't know, man. After you, I guess. So we go to his improvised home therapy room, and I sit in the room, and Grandpa starts straight up boasting. He was this company's CFO back in the day, and that association's CEO back in the day, and all kinds of shit. And I don't know what all that has to do with anything, but I'm like, all right, he's trying to show me that he's legit or something, so I'll roll with it. This is like 40 minutes in, and finally, I start explaining the kind of pains I'm having. And then I said, look, I started resting more and more in between work sessions, and that's been helping me. And I shit you not, he twists his face in disgust, and he goes something like, lol, you don't need rest. Now in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck you throwing shade, dude? I literally just told you this is helping me. But on the outside, I'm putting on my best act of, all right, explain to me your ways, old Jedi Master CFO turned crook, sir. So he starts talking about his philosophy. And it's a whole bunch of how you shouldn't make any effort with things. He goes something like, you know how sometimes you try really hard to do something, and the harder you try, the shittier it gets? And I'm like, well, yeah, sometimes if you're putting on too much effort, you might get stressed, but he doesn't care what I think. He wants to talk. He goes, when you use a mouse, what ear are you using it from? And I'm like, Unc, what'd you just say? And he goes, can you imagine that you're using your hand from your left ear? And now this is where I get really sus, but I try to justify spending my money on this thing. So I say to myself this, maybe, just maybe, his method is to calm you down by having you focus on another activity while doing your activity, which will ultimately relax your muscles as you're doing your main activity, like meditation, kind of. So I say, yeah, I can use my hand for my left ear. And he goes, that's a good start. Now me, knowing that there's a physical therapy thing that's supposed to be happening, I'm thinking, all right, so now that we established that I use my hand for my ear, can we just get on with the thing, right? Wrong. Grandpa wants to talk. And so he starts telling me about how he helped regrow a dancer's ripped tendons, a musician's dysfunctional hand, all sorts of magical cure stories. He might have cured cancer too. Then he drops this bomb. For example, he goes, do you know who grew the tendons in your knee? Silence. I'm not saying anything. I'm pissed. You, he says, you grew it. He starts talking to me about the knowledge that exists in my knee and how it knows how to grow tendons subconsciously and fucking gamma frequencies inside my DNA that's in my RCA, which is where I stop and I go, look, my man, if you tell me that from your experience, twisting someone's arm in a certain way relieves their pain 90% of the time, I could agree to believe in your experience. But I don't understand gamma rays, and that is not helping you sound more credible to me. The guy got pissed. He got super pissed. He was raising his voice at me going, well, I don't know if this is a good match for you. You don't understand anything. I shouldn't have brought this up. And honestly, I should have walked out right there and asked for my money back, but your buddy Zypha was not assertive enough that day and tried to stay civil. I just told him, look, I think we talked enough. Can you just show me what your treatment looks like? So he goes, all right, what do you want to do? What do you mean, what do I want to do? I came here for you to tell me what to do. And he goes, okay, lie down. I'm all right. All right, I'm lying down, and the dude starts shaking my foot. Problems in my hand, but bro was sitting there shaking my foot. So I'm lying there, grabbed by the foot and being shook. And he goes, can you grab your head with both your hands and move it side to side? I'm like, holy shit. And as soon as I put my hands on my head, the door slams open and I hear a 9-year-old boy's voice going, Dad, did you show him your ninja moves? And he goes, you're right, son. And he starts, I shit you not, he starts karate chopping my foot. And then his son comes in and he goes, here, ninja his foot right at this spot. So I got this fucking poor 9-year-old boy whose dad is a nutcase that is going to die on him next year karate chopping my foot. And grandpa goes, as we're doing this, the crapzoids are leaving your body. I started laughing. Crapzoids. And he's laughing too. He says, people sometimes ask me what crapzoids are. He's laughing even harder. I'm laughing. He's laughing. He looks at me like, lol, I'm a crook, right? And I'm laughing like, yeah, I know. And he's happy. He's happy to be sharing this moment with me because I guess most people just believe this bullshit. Anyway, at that point, I was like, all right, I think this is enough for me. We concluded the session. The whole thing lasted for 2 hours. He said that would be $180 and suggested that we book the next 6 sessions. I paid the money and I said, I'll think about it. And then I went and got myself a burger that was a little bit too moist. Until next time.